Good afternoon, everybody. All set here. I'll give everybody a minute. I'm just grabbing a few extra things, making sure that we've got all our stuff. Hello, Linda. How are you doing? I think that the lighting is okay. It's always so tricky. Hello, Arlene. There's some sunshine coming in the window, but it seems like by 2 o'clock it's hard to get natural light. I think we're okay right now. How's everybody doing? I decided just to pull out this Evergreen and Holly. I've had it because it came out early. Like, I think you could do a pre-order maybe August or something. So I've had it for a while, but then things have got busy and I really haven't got to use it, and I really love it. So I thought we'd just pull that out, make some tags, some gift tags. I do have the album and I do intend to make an album, but that's probably not going to happen till like January. But I thought at least I can make some gift cards, not gift cards, some gift tags using this stuff, kind of start getting started playing with it, and that'll probably also give me some ideas when I want to set up the album. Have you guys started a December album, or do you do a December album or scrapbook pages for December? I definitely do, but sometimes nothing gets done in December. It will slowly get done after December. However, I'm making a point of taking lots of photos, and I've got ideas about pages that I want to do. So I have lots of ideas, and sometimes I just like sitting down with, if I'm going to use Evergreen and Holly, for instance, just getting out what I'm going to use, kind of like, making a little kit of stuff. And I find that is inspiring because then I can have everything in front of me. It's not a ton of stuff. I don't have my whole craft room here, but I grabbed, so these are the things that I took out to work with today. So I had the 12 by 12 sheet of tags, and all this stuff is still in the shop if you want to play with it. So scrapshotz.com. Hello, Doris. So this was a 12 by 12 and it's all tags. There's also a 12 by 12 paper pack if you want the whole pack, or you can buy the pages individually. So I cut up these tags. You just trim them apart. It's just these are all on one sheet. And then on the back you have lots of areas that you could do your own decorating, or you can do the to and from. That's kind of what I'm thinking that I'll do. And you can definitely tuck these into your, albums if you're making albums. I think they're just so cute to decorate. And you could totally just cut them up and use them on your gifts for cute little gift tags. But this is using your other supplies and just kind of bumping them up a notch to add a few fun things to them so you can add them to your gifts. But yes, you can use them on your scrapbook pages as well, or in your albums. So I think I need another sheet of these so that I can use them in my album. Hello, Helen. Hello, Bonnie. You're working on your mom's wedding pictures, Erlene. Oh, I bet that's amazing. So are you using a specific collection, or are you just using paper that you have in your stash, or certain colors? So I'll give you a look at what I have here, and I'm not going to be using this today, but I did pull it out because it's still in the shop and it's beautiful. So if you haven't seen this, hello Diane, this is the Evergreen and Holly album. So it's a 6x8, holds 6x8 pages, and it's really nice and big. You can see how wide it is. It comes with all these pages in here. So I love the calendar. You can definitely decorate all of these on the agenda this December. Your kits, you've already done. Wonderful. Well, nice to get photos on that. And then will you, is that something you're giving as a gift, or are you keeping? I love this little clipboard. And just to give you a little flip through, because sometimes it's hard to tell exactly what's in the albums. I love all these pages that she's included, and this art all matches with the papers in the collection. So lots of things that you can journal on, you can decorate, plus you get the pocket pages. So you've got 1, 2, 3 6x8. Then you've got the 4x4, 3 of those, so sorry, 4x6. And then you've got 3x4 and 4x6. So you've got another 3 pages of those. And then you've got 3 more pages of all 3x4s. So lots and lots. Hi, Julie. You're keeping them and copying them for your brothers and sister. That is so wonderful, Erlene. And hello, Sarah. So that's a look at that. I had picked that up, and I intend to do some projects with that. I also picked up these individual sheets. So this one is December highlights, because I'm going to cut those out and use them. And all of the papers, most of them are available in the store. There might be a few that are sold out, but there is a 12x12 pad. Jolly Days. So I'll cut those into the 3x4s. And then I love these little envelopes. So I'm going to cut those out, maybe do some interactive things. Those would be good for little tags put in them. This is the Season of Wonder. And then I had the tags, which I have cut up already. So I may have to pick up another full sheet of the tags, because I think those would be really fun to use in the album. But then I picked up the 6x8 paper pad, and there's lots of, I love that they have 3x4s in here. Some are a little bit different. They've also got tags. So you've got tags in here, you've got all the patterns that match, and the 6x8 size is nice. It's nice and large. You can use that in an album or just use it for your cards. So I pulled that out. So basically my thought process was, we'll make some tags. So I've cut up the tags, and then I grabbed the other products, and if we use them, I probably won't use these, but I did want to show you them because they're really cute. I will use these in the album, and these are the tassels, and they've got a little acrylic charm on them. They are really, really cute. So it's like a faux leather type tassel, and then you've got the little clip so you can clip that on wherever you want. They're great for traveler's notebooks too, or if you wanted to put this on with your gift and with your tag, that would be cute. There's the little wreath and then memories. So those are really nice. I will definitely be using those. I grabbed these shaker stickers, which are so cute. And again, I don't know if we'll use all this stuff today, but if I have it out and it's all together, then I can go back and just create easily with it. So we've got the 6x8 paper pad. This is the puffy phrase and accent stickers, Joyful, that came with the collection. So we've got lots of different words. And these too, some of them are a good size that you could totally use them on a tag. Yeah, this line is beautiful. Hello, Jackie. Miss Jackie from Creative Scrapbooker. Then we've got the embellishments. Now, what's this one called? This is the 50 piece. I guess they're both 50. There's two different packs of ephemera. So this one here, I don't have the name of it right in front of me, but it looks more like tags and frames and journaling type thing. And then this one here has little images. I love that snowman. Okay, so if I turn it over, you'll be able to see, and you can tell in the store. So this one has, see all the tags and the journaling pieces. These are great too for layering. And look at all the images that are in these. Really great. So awesome. And then I totally had to have this 12 by 12 chipboard. It's beautiful. And I think I only, well, I mean, I love everything on it, but what sold me was the door. I don't even know what I'm doing with the door, but I had to have the door. I think that maybe it would look great on the front of that album, kind of as if, you know, you're opening into your little Christmas world. So I think that's probably what I'll do. And then these pop out, so they're little images that are like stamps. And I love just everything on this chipboard. I could just have this for a decoration. Isn't there some products that you could totally, it doesn't even matter if you ever use them, you just love them. And then the Evergreen and Holly chipboard shapes. I love that they have all the letters, all the numbers, and then they have extra stars. We've got some neat options for 25. So I thought these stars, they're chipboard, and you can color them and customize them. They're just black and white, so you can do them in whatever colors you want. And I thought those would be really fun to add onto the tags and maybe color them with. So I grabbed some Vicki Boutin gel crayons. I think these are still in the store. Hi, Jennifer. I also grabbed my tin of Distress crayons. Most of these are mica crayons. I think there might still be some mica crayons in the shop. I grabbed some Distress oxides that I felt like would kind of match. There's probably some other colors I could have got. I got Speckled Egg, Ground Espresso, Lumberjack Plaid. I grabbed some Kitsch Flamingo. I'm not sure if that's going to go or not. And now that I'm looking at it, I think maybe the Saltwater Taffy might go better. Rustic Wilderness. So if you grab a few inks that match your line, then you have those available. I also grabbed a couple stencils, and again, I don't know if we'll use these, but I thought if I have them, then they're here. So this one is the Craft and Kimmy layered poinsettia, and that I believe is still in the shop. And we used that at the last event for some make and takes, the Scrapaganza. I grabbed this snowflake stencil, and I know this one's not in the shop. This is a Craft and Kimmy one, but There is a Vicki Boutin stencil set that's a 3-pack that goes with this Evergreen and Holly, and it's beautiful. It has poinsettias, it has snowflakes, it has like peppermints candy. So it's a wonderful set. If you don't have those, I think some that were similar, but then I looked at it and I thought, you know what, I should have probably got that one. Anyway, and I have some glacier pastes. This one is Haute Red and Winter White. And then we've got some Crackle Texture Paste, Snowfall Grit Paste. This is the same one, it's just in the small. But I believe both of those are in the shop. Anyway, you can just get the idea that you're grabbing a few stencils. You can grab, I've got a round die here. So I also have, a few other, some gems and some, oh, I grabbed this stencil too. This Stampers Anonymous stencil, that's a good one. And there's a 3-pack of minis with this one. It's in the shop. Hi, Cynthia. How are you doing? What else do I have? Some glue and some foam tape and some gems. Just anything that you can, maybe think that you might want to decorate or use on your tag. So not a ton of stuff, but definitely some things that you can just pull from to add some layers and some mixed media. So let's get out our tag first. I also cut this off of the 12 by 12 sheet, and I thought that was cute. That's what the stencil looks like. I probably should go get it. So let's see. On the ones that are pretty much a full background, can't talk today, I would probably start out by adding a layer of something. So either cutting a piece of paper that's going to fit over that, or that wreath would be really cute. Or we could start to look in our ephemera and see what's in here. So let's kind of just pull something out. That snowman, he would be super cute on there. And I usually try to have something to put all this ephemera in so I'm don't have it scattered completely, but that's okay. That deer is nice, but I think we need something to kind of brighten up this. So let's try a couple different things and then we can decide. These are great, these ephemera pieces. Oh, the tree, that would look really nice. So we can maybe get some ideas. I do like the snowman and the stocking. And isn't this house great? I have a thing for houses. I love them. I like that you've got lots of different sizes. Here's that wreath again. So we could pull a few of these out that might work. These are some words, so we can keep those aside as some sentiments. Oh my gosh, this little Santa is so cute. So we'll just grab a few things out that I think any of these really would work. We'll grab a few things out. There's a few smaller ones in there too that we could go back and look at if we need a smaller area. And we'll just I'll just flip through them quickly. I do like the candy canes. Got another one of those trees. Oh, what fun is cute. And look at the little coffee cup. I love coffee too. So obviously coffee and houses are totally. Then you have all these, which which lots of those are going to fit, but we'll pull from this one first so that we aren't overwhelmed. So pretty much if we find a few that might work, we'll just work with them, because obviously you could keep going forever and you know, till you figure out what you want. And I think when you kind of find something that you feel like works, so if we had this little guy, we could also do we could do one of these sentiments that are on the chipboard piece. And we also have these for sentiments too. So if you have the sticker book, there's an Evergreen and Holly sticker book. You could just pull one of the little stickers that are in that. I have an older one, the Warm Wishes, which is probably a little bit similar with these little, I imagine that they have some of those little stickers, like Here Comes Santa Claus. So maybe we'll pull from that. This one isn't in the shop, the Warm Wishes, because that was the year before. But if you have any sticker books, then pull them out, because these are a great way to use those stickers. And if we wanted to have something a little bit in the background here, that's when we could maybe die cut something. Or we could even fussy cut something, like that flower would be really, the poinsettia would be really cute. My daughter got, oh, that would be great as a little strip. Let's do that. Okay, we're just gonna, if I find something that I feel like, yep, that's gonna work, then we're gonna go with it. So my daughter got a poinsettia from her, well, I would say kind of boyfriend. They just, you know, it's very cute. They are really good friends and they hang around all the time, and you know, they're just two really sweet kids. So anyway, he gave her this poinsettia, and we are just not good with plants, either her or myself. And this poinsettia is dying, and every day she looks at it, she's like, oh no, like it's just sad. I don't think I want to go with that strip, but I do like the idea of using the strip on the tags. So, you know, I think it was too wet at first when she got it, so that really wasn't her fault. And then maybe she forgot to water it a few times, and it's just not looking good. But I don't think, you know, it's a reflection on their relationship. So even though she's quite sad about it. Okay, so we have some strips. I think I kind of like this, the pink that's in this. So let's put this, just stick that in there. I'm going to move a few things because it looks like a hot mess already here, and I'm sure probably you guys are thinking I'm going crazy. All right, we've got the Santa, we've got this. We'll move this for a minute, and after we make a few tags, then I do want to show you a few things. We've got the lawn fawn stuff in. I have the completed layout from last week that I haven't got to post yet, but it's done. And I made another layout, so I'm going to put those on the blog this week. I think I'm just going to use the Lumberjack Plaid, such a great red. Hello, Tamara. So does anybody like making tags with your supplies? I saw an Instagram post where someone was using their paper to make bows, and I saved it, so Definitely have to try it, but it was so cool. Like they were just twisting it over and then they made this huge, beautiful big bow with their scrapbook paper. And I thought that's such a great idea. I know I have more paper than I will probably ever use, but it makes me happy, so that's okay. I'm also gonna put a little bit of red around the edges because I like adding a little bit of color. And I like just playing like this. So Tim Holtz had a whole Sizzix video last Saturday where he just like had a whole bunch of stuff that had been pre-cut and pre-done. And he pulled it all out and he put different things together. And I think it's so inspiring just to craft like that. Just get things out, not overwhelming yourself, but some things that you have ready. Maybe you have some backgrounds that you did on a jelly plate. Um, so we're going to add a little bit of foam tape to him. Define that. You love making tags, Julie? Yeah, I do too. I feel like I can finish it. I can give them away. Um, I made some that I'm hanging on a little chicken wire frame to kind of from 1 to 12 this year. So he can kind of hang over the edge too. Got some foam tape there. That's that Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. That's a wonderful foam tape. Then we can bring in one of the stars. That's cute. Okay, I have two funny stories to tell you guys. So I think I told you or told somebody before in the summer, I just need a drink first, that we were in Saskatchewan for a wedding, my niece's wedding, and people would say like, "Well, what do you do?" And I say, "What, like I make crafty things for companies who, they'll give me a product and I'll make something with it, and um, I work with Creative Scrapbooker magazine and I work with Scrap Shotz and Crafting Kimmy, and I don't think people really understood. So they're kind of like, oh yeah. So I said, well, like it's on Instagram and there's lots of stuff there, and I just, make lots of stuff and scrapbook pages and crafts. I don't have a plan with this thing. I'm just adding some color and seeing how it goes on. It seems to be going on quite nicely. This is the Distress Crayon with the mica. So anyway, nobody really understood, but that's fine. I'm also going to, I think maybe the Distress Crayon works a little bit better if you have a base of the collage medium, but this does almost have a little bit of a coating on it. So anyway, it wasn't a whole lot of topic, and it was my niece's wedding, so that's what the focus was on. And anyway, so like a month later, my brother-in-law, who's, obviously being thoughtful and thinking of me, he says to my husband, I ordered all these straws off of Amazon. I ordered like, 1,000 straws, but I don't need them, and I ordered them by mistake. So could Karla use them in her crafting? And my husband's like, uh, I'll ask her, but I don't think so. So we kind of had to chuckle over that because I'm like, what would I use like 1,000 straws for? And what kind of scrapbooking or crafting does he really think that I'm doing? Because like that's a lot of straws. And so obviously they think I just sit around gluing straws together or something all day. So, we had kind of a laugh about that. And then just last week, my husband's talking to my brother-in-law again, and he says, "Oh, there's this place called it's Bin City or something like that in Saskatoon." So here, I'll show you this before I continue my story. I just used some of the lighter green, which is fresh balsam, and then some of the rustic wilderness, which is not mica, but the fresh balsam is. So actually, we could probably go over the whole top just to make it a little bit glittery. Anyway, that's kind of pretty. So he's talking to him, and my brother-in-law says, "Oh yeah, there's this Bin City, and they have like tons of like crafty stuff, and Karla should come and look. There's like boxes and boxes of like googly eyes, googly eyes, and pipe cleaners." And I'm like, oh my God, what does he think that I'm doing all day? I'm just like gluing together straws and googly eyes and pipe cleaners. What am I making? Anyway, it was really funny. So that's my story. So I'm going to send them a Christmas card that has pipe cleaners and googly eyes on it. But probably I'm the only one who will understand that. I know. So funny. So we're going to glue on. I love the dimension on those. That's cute, hey? And let's see, then we have these little gold dots that we could use on here, little gold puffy stickers. Okay, and the other funny story is, so my husband said it's been like really dry here, and everybody's like hands and feet and everything is so dry. And so he says, "Yeah, I was putting cream on my feet, and I felt this like super hard thing on my toe, and I was really worried about it. So I kind of like, picked at it and wondered like, oh no, am I gonna have to go to the doctor? It's like really stuck on my foot." And he's putting lotion on his feet. And then it pops off, and he looks closer, and it's a gem. So he's had a gem stuck on his, like, kind of under his toe. He doesn't even know how long it was stuck there. But anyway, the good news is that he got it off. So he doesn't have to go to the doctor, and he is going to live. So anyway, that is, at least it wasn't a googly eye, right? Okay, so we've got we could do a little heart right there. Um, I think, oh, too funny. At least he laughed about it. Like as soon as he saw it, he knew exactly what it was. Oh, the little tree is cute. Santa could be holding a little tree. You could do that. Oh dear. Okay. And I feel like it still needs a little bit. I was going to stencil some snowflakes, and then I got talking. So we'll do that on a different one. But we can put a couple little gold dots. All right, so I think that one could probably be okay. We could go, so the sticker, I grabbed these, and like I said, these aren't available in the shop, but they're, you guys might have these at home. It's Tim Holtz. There's just a random sticker book. There is a Simple Stories sticker book that probably is very similar to this one, maybe a little bit different. But any of these sticker books, that come with the collections are perfect. So let's see, that's kind of fun, this font. Toe. That's right, gem toe. The Vicki one? Are you saying this one? I'm guessing that's what you're saying, Julie. The one that we looked at that said, "Here comes Santa." That may not be what you're saying at all. But you know what? Oops. There we go. We'll just pop that back on there. This is last year's. And here comes Santa Claus. Let's do that. I think it's kind of good to have tweezers, which I don't have right in front of me, but that's cute. If you wanted to, you could then add, yes, you can through your own comments. Well, good. I knew I was on the same wavelength, so there you go. So if you had some stickles, you could add that on. You could, I think that's good for him. Okay, so we'll set this one aside. He's done. Then that's on the back. You can write your little message to and from, or you can use that in your album. Okay. Then if we wanted to, let's see here. So this one, I don't think you have to add a whole lot. I'm just trying to think of what I would add to this one. If I was going to add something, it certainly doesn't have, you could add a little snowflake, you could add one of the little stars, or you could really just, you could add, if you had a stencil that had little polka dots, that would probably be fun to do, like a little polka dot background. We could do the snowfall grit paste over that because the grit paste snowfall is translucent, I believe. So you'll still be able to see stuff through it. Let's try that just to try it out. And then we can just set that aside to dry. So we'll just add a little bit over the top. I was going to grab a bucket. Now, this one I've had since last year, and I think the new one is probably a little bit more wet. And usually I just, if I find that anything's drying out, I just add some water to it. And it usually, it's not super thick, it's still usable, but I feel like it should be a little bit less thick. So that's my solution. And it's probably a good idea to use your products. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're just going to add a little bit of this grit paste. And I think if you have a new jar, it's going to be a little bit less thick, although it's meant to be gritty. And I'm just not going to go over the sentiment. So it's going to be gritty and have a little bit of texture. And I usually just make sure that my palette knife or whatever I'm using is kind of at an angle so that it's not any higher than the stencil. I'm going to grab a wipe because I forgot to grab a cloth. And you can just put that in. Well, that's pretty. So here's a look at that grit paste, and we'll just set that aside. So that's really nice. You can still see, I'm just going to rub my finger around the edge to take off anything that's sticking out. You can still see that image, and we can glue something on top if we wanted to, but I think it's actually pretty good. I'm going to zoom out a little bit there. Okay, so we'll put that one aside just to dry, and that one can kind of be that. I think also having that press and seal and putting that over top will help as well. that is, I mean, I've had that open for a year and it still works really fine. So normally I would just rinse this off under the sink, but as long as you're wiping it so that chunks aren't going to dry on it, then you'll be fine. And with any of the snowflake stencils or anything that has really delicate areas, you just want to be careful that you don't pull any of them up. So normally if I'm doing a bunch of stenciling, I'll just have one of those plastic shoe boxes filled with a little bit of soapy water, and I just throw them in, and then I don't have to worry about scrubbing or anything. And then I just set them aside to dry. I did see someone had the baby bottle dryers, and that's what they were using for their stencils, and that looked very smart. Just trying to dry that off then. Okay, so for this one, I thought that, you know, it's pretty much done as it is, but it could use a sentiment. But we have these fun little dots. And so this Marvy snow marker, and this is in the shop. These have been around forever. You want to give it a really good shake. And then how it works is when you first get it, you probably have to prime it. I can't remember, but I'll do it on here and then wipe it up. So when you press it down, the ink will flow into the tip. But after that, you don't have to do that unless it seems like it's not flowing well. And then I'm not going to do every part, but I thought it would be fun to do some. So some snowflake areas. And then we just use the heat gun and it puffs up. It's so cool. It's a really neat way to add any kind of snowy effect. So these kind of things, sometimes you forget that you have them, or you don't know where to use them. Now it's not going to puff up a ton because I didn't use a ton of that on it, but we can see. So when you heat it, it's just going to turn more white, and then it's going to puff up a bit. And you don't need too much heat over it, because as soon as you see it starting to puff up, and I don't know how well you can see that, but you could also, I can see it in person. Also put a little bit extra down here, so I'm getting a little bit more. And you can kind of make it look like it's snowy. Here you can see it puff up more. So there's a little bit of snow. It gives it a little bit of texture. So when you rub your finger over it, you can feel it, and just kind of a neat effect. And then I would probably just grab, you could say, oh, snow. You could say, let it snow. We could go to our little stickers. Kind of like the let it snow because it can go over the background. yeah, it gives it a neat little dimension. I'm just going to place this on carefully and then I can still move it around. I'm okay with saying let it snow until it's like February, and then I'm thinking, okay, enough with the snow. But for now, so there's let it snow. And we could just brighten it up a little bit with a little gold snowflake. There we go. So that's another one. And then that's the back of that one. Okay, now what do we have here? We've got 25. You could do a couple layers over this. We could do, I don't want to cover that up too much so that it looks weird. Could definitely add a little something in some of the areas that would still allow that to be seen. Let's look at these ones. Or maybe just do some stenciling. Maybe we'll do that. We could do a little bit of this poinsettia stenciling and go right over it. So lumberjack plaid, and I have a brush. I like using the brushes for the stencils. And I forgot to bring up that media grip. That I believe is still available in the shop. It is fabulous for just gripping on stuff and helping you keep things steady. So with this layered poinsettia stencil, I just marked the top of each so I don't have to figure out which way it goes, and then I can match it up. And you know, like if you think that it's just weird, then you can give that to your relatives that aren't your favorite. I don't have any not favorite relatives, so I don't know who I would give that to. Okay, that looks cute, hey? Hello, Janet. So we'll pull that off, and then we'll put on we'll match this up. So I'll get out the Rustic Wilderness. That's such a great color too with the lumberjack plaid for this collection. So normally if I'm trying to match it up, I know that I have the tops of both of my stencils and I know this fits, and then I can just line up where I already did the stenciling. And then when I pull this off, it'll be close. Then I can just, I think that's perfect. Just make sure that it's in the right spot, and then I'm ready to go. I think there's lots and lots of tutorials too on YouTube where you can use your supplies to make gift card holders or, you know, various boxes, gift boxes, or there's dies, or, you know, if you have an electronic cutting machine, then you can use your supplies to make those basic things and then decorate them with either your ephemera or your stickers, or make these tags and put with them, and it just makes the gift coordinated. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. That looks pretty. Now you know your secret. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's give this a little wipe. And distress inks or oxides, if you just rinse them off in the sink, they clean up so easily. I'm just going to give it a little wipe, but I'll probably go back and just rinse them. I think it's actually easier just to rinse them because then you're not trying to wipe up ink. Okay, so there's our little tag, and I kind of like that green. I think I'll add a little bit of the green ink just around the outside. So what do you guys have on the go for today or for this week? Do you have any more Christmas shopping to do? I have to go to the mall tomorrow. Erica's been home sick since Tuesday, and so she's feeling much better today, but I just decided to keep her home. I think she's probably fine, but I know that she needs to go back to school, and she's feeling better because she's doesn't want to sit still. Tuesday she didn't get off the couch, and so I knew she was not feeling well. But for her to sit still, I know that she's sick. Okay, I'm just going to pull this out and see if there's any sentiments that maybe we want to add. These are fun too if you have, if you want to put them on a banner and put them in front of your fireplace or with little clothespins. So she told me last night she thought she should stay home today, and she should probably, well, these are good. She should probably not eat full portions. That was her idea of, taking it easy to make sure she's better, is not eating full portions. She snacked all day yesterday, like constantly, but she felt like it wasn't a complete full meal. So she's probably, not completely up to going back to school yet. So we haven't had full portions today. Family cough. Ugh. Yuck. Okay. Yeah, it was so weird. Like she came home and she was, okay earlier, and she came home and then she had a fever and she was sick, and then her ears were plugged, and by that night she was feeling much better, and then she was, not 100% herself yesterday, but is feeling like so much better. I don't know if she just bounces back quick or what. Oh, those are cute. I find that I always, by the time I'm wrapping gifts, if I don't have tags pre-done, then I'm just grabbing these weird gift tags that I've had, with my wrapping paper forever. And I think, why didn't I make some tags? If I have them done before I start wrapping, then I can just grab them and put them on my gifts. Okay, there's some cute ones here. I feel like these ones maybe are more for, adding to, they're really cute, adding to a December album. So, Holiday Joy, that's cute, but I feel like it's just too big to stick in front of that number. So maybe we'll go back to our little stickers. And that's why I like having little stickers like this. All is calm, all is bright. And we could just put it right here, and then we can still see the number. So that's pretty, and we could even add maybe a couple gems. This is I didn't check to see if these are still in stock. The honeybee stamps Make It Merry, but there's also Lucy's card has gems. Spellbinders has lots of different gems. Here's some Lucy's cards that I had grabbed. Oops. There we go. These are really cute. I like the ones that are the red and green, but they're almost like an iridescent. I think I took the backing off this. I think I got the stick off of it. I put hand cream on my hands before I started, so that probably doesn't help things stick. They do have an adhesive on there though. So we'll just do this and have our little gems on there. And I guess I forgot to add some twine on there. I do also like adding ribbon and then just tying the twine around. Or sometimes I'll add a piece of twine that I'm going to tie onto the gift, but then I'll still put a bow on it. That's cute. To and from with Sharpie on the wrapping paper when you don't have tags. I know, so much snacking. It's just never ending. And let's see. I think, well, maybe we'll do one more quick one and then I'll show you guys the lawn fawn. And we'll have a look and see. This is pretty much dry already, that Snowfall Grit Paste. So it definitely dries translucent, but it does have that gritty texture. It's very pretty. And it's kind of glittery. So let's do one more. This Full of Wonder has a space that looks like it would fit. There was like a little gingerbread man in here somewhere, maybe. Can find him. I think it was in this one. And as you go through and make more of these, you'll see, you know, if you're maybe looking through and then you'll see, oh yeah, that ticket would look great with whatever that was. This, oh, that tree was from here. So that little frame pops out. That's really cute. I'm not going to use that on my tags today, but that would look very cute in an album. Maybe, where did I see that gingerbread man? If we can't find him, then we'll do something else. Even that, sticking that there, or going with one of our chipboard stickers to add that dimension. That bell is nice too, and the bird's very cute. I feel like if we had the bird and we had maybe him layered over something. Sometimes these chipboard things are a little tricky. There we go. And I usually always put extra glue on the chipboard. Okay, so if he's here, and then if we find something like a little branch or something, that could be like that, although I'm not really loving the words on that. This could maybe be something. You get the picture. I'm just trying to find something to layer that on. Maybe that. There's that gingerbread man there. Or this. Okay. Do you guys like the holly with the evergreen or the mistletoe? There's the mistletoe, or here's the holly with the evergreen. Hello, Wendy. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to make some tags this year, Tamara, in all your free time. You vote for the holly. All right, let's go with that. So let's put a little bit of glue. Glue this guy too. I've got something thread stuck to him. Okay, we'll put him there. And could do a little star. I feel like if that had glitter. So what I'm going to do is I am going to see if this works. We have this little star there, and then we're just going to add a little bit of this glacier paste because it has a really nice mica shine in it. It's beautiful, beautiful through a stencil. So I'm thinking like with the snowflake stencil would be gorgeous, but you can also just rub it on. And then if we wanted to put a couple accents of that snowfall grit paste, if I knew where my palette knife was. And this. And you can kind of just grab a little bit where you want. This is nice on backgrounds of trees and stuff too. And you're just adding a little bit for, just to make it look a little bit like snow or texture. It is going to dry fairly clear though. There, just gives it a little bit of a wintry shine. You could also have stickles or nouveau drops or anything like that. And then we could pick a color, maybe this color here. What do you guys like to use for a clear, oops, a clear white, a clear or white shine? All right, so that could be done. If you had a white gel pen or a glitter pen, you could trace the outline of that. So really you can do as much as you want, as much or as little as you want. So let me just show you these up close, and then I'll give you a look at the Lawn Fawn. So there's our Full of Wonder. I do like that glitter on there, that glacier paste. And there's our little Santa. And we still have lots left. So that really didn't take too long. There's our little snowflake one that we did with the stencil. And the the snowfall grit paste. There's our Let It Snow. And our number 25 tag. I think those are pretty quick. Like that was an hour, but it was, me talking, and I could probably, now that I've dug through these supplies, I could probably get through them another 5 pretty quickly. So I'm just going to move these over. I also struggle with knowing, should I just put all my ephemera into some kind of box or something so that I can dig through it. I do have those photo keepers, and after a while I actually put any kind of ephemera that is similar into those. But I tend, if I'm still using the collection together, then I tend to keep it in the bags, although I hate dumping them out all the time. Thanks. Thanks, Lisa. Okay, let's move these over. Now, have you guys seen the Lawn Fawn? It's their Valentine release, so not as big as their fall Christmas release. Definitely cute. Very cute. There's a little bit of a glare there. Thanks, Cynthia. So we have, let's give you a look at what we have. Sandy also restocked some of the products. I'm going to see if that's too dark. If I turn that off, it's just such a glare. There's a light that's right above my table. Let's see. Okay, can you guys see that okay? I know it's a little bit dark, but at least there's no glare there. You're afraid to look, yeah. So Sandy has restocked a lot of the last ones. I think the last release, there's restocks in the shop anyway. So if there's something that you were looking for and didn't get, have a look. She's got these metal snips in, which are great, of course, if you like to snip apart your dies. So those are nice, and they're a really cute little blue color. Then we have Simply Celebrate Hearts. So this one is the hearts that you have in the Valentine's, sending lots of love, which could be for anything. I heart you and love is in the air. And then you've got the little faces that you can put in hearts. That's, I think, what sold me on this. You need a few for your signature. A few. What do you need a few of? It's probably something I just said, but sometimes when I'm talking and then I do something else and then I think, what did I just say? Totally spaced. Then this is the Simply Celebrate Hearts die, and then you've got the little die as well, so that coordinates with that. If you have that pop-up box, any of these Simply Celebrate sentiments or the long strips will fit, and they're made to fit perfectly on that pop-up box. You heard there were beavers? That's right. And you totally need that, Julie. Of course. This one, Would You Be Mine? Are they not cute or what? So there's two that they have with the little beavers on them. So you've got the large set. These little guys have the heart. Look, he's got a book. Honestly, like what could be cuter? A little beaver reading a book. There's a bow. You've got the cattails. Of course, the little tree stump and the log. That's cute. All these things really, Lawn Fun does a good job of making things that you can coordinate with other sets. I Choose You. I love Valentine sets. Miss You a Log. Would You Be Mine? And Happy Heart Day. So cute. And then there's the little mini set. So Damn Much. I Love You so damn much. That is so cute. And you still have a little cattail. You've got your heart hugs. So cute. I need to have a drink. All right, we have, what else we have for stamps right here? We've got You're the Zest. You're the Zest, Squeeze the Day, and then you've got the little faces that go in the lemons. Very, very cute. For some reason, I can't remember if there was a different one. Let me just double check. So if you go in the new December 1st, you're going to find those, or you can just look up Lawn Fun in the shop, and I just can't remember if there was another stamp that I'm not seeing. No. Okay. And we've got the wood grain background hot foil plate. This would look absolutely gorgeous. We've got all those wood grain details, and with the beavers, very cute. So that's for foiling. You have the foil machine. Then we've got heart garden border. That is super cute. And so it looks like it cuts out the little border with the grass and the heart flowers, and then you have the separate hearts so that you can place them on top of the flowers in a different color. You can pop them up. Yeah, that foil plate, fantastic. I love the foil machine, I must say. Heart garland backdrop. This is the portrait one. I believe this might say it's sold out in the shop, but if it's something that you want, then just email sandy@scrapshotz.com and she can put that in with her next order, and that'll be there pretty quickly, or she may already have it on order. But there's two different, there's the landscape and there's the portrait. So basically you have these little banners that are attached to the frame, and this would be a landscape card. And then you've got the little hearts that cut out the banner, that cuts out another freestanding one that you can place wherever you want, and then a large banner. And this one here, I like that they've given you a few different options, so you still get the heart little banners that are attached, and this one's vertical. But here you've got the balloons and the strings, and then you have a shorter banner and a shorter little banner that you can put words in. So those are super cute. And we've got the Falling Hearts stencils. That's very nice. You've got a two-piece heart, so you can layer these, and the hearts are just going to kind of nestle in. So you can easily do one layer one color, the next layer another color. You can add glimmer paste, glitter paste, whatever you want. Those are fun. And I like that they're tiny hearts. We've got the giant outlined Love Ya. Very cute. So that's can go in the background. And I don't think you need it to be Valentine's to send a love ya. And then you can do the inside letters. I love doing the inside letters in glitter. I think it looks so nice. And then this one here is build a cabin. And is this not cute or what? The beavers with this would be super cute too. So you've got the little cabin, and oh, there they have it with the beavers. The little cabin that you can do whatever color you want. And then you've got the door, the chimney, and any accessory pieces, hearts. Very, very cute. And I love too that this, it cuts out the outside, and then it's, I don't know whether these are a cut or an emboss, but you're going to be able to see those lines when it cuts that die. And we have the Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine is in the shop. So if you don't have this, this is the newest one, and you want it, if you spend $20 or more, then just mention in the comments that you would like one of the Scrapbook and Cards magazines, and Sandy will pop that in your order for free. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is the completed layout. So this was last week that we did together. I've got the pictures all done. I just need to make a blog post. But I thought most of it I had done when we kind of ended last week. If you didn't see this, this is last week's Facebook Live. So you can go back and have a look at that. And that's using the kit of the month this month, which is 49 Market Plum Grove, and all the beautiful things. And I just added a few extra details and some sequins and stuff. And then I have since made this. I need to add some journaling and probably some sequins, and I have a second page plan. So I'm going to finish those up and then be able to put those on the blog. And if you've got the 49 Market kit, or you just have some of their products, you can probably do something similar with this. So that is all for today. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful week. If you have some shopping and stuff left to do, maybe you can get out and do it before it gets crazy. I will not be here on... So I'll be here next week. No, what's next week? Next week is Christmas. So I'm going to take the 23rd and the I can't see the calendar. I'm going to take next Thursday and the Thursday after off. And then I'll be back in January. So yeah, you guys will have a couple of weeks. You can, get crafty. Be sure to share what you're working on in the Scrap Shotz paper crafting group. Oh, you're so welcome, Arlene. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys taking your time and hanging out with me. And I hope you all have a really, really Merry Christmas. I honestly can't believe it's this close to Christmas. I thought I had, I don't know, in my mind I had one more week, but yeah. So I'm going to take the next 2 weeks off, and then I'll be back in January. Thank you. Thanks so much, Cynthia. I hope you guys all have a great Christmas. Have fun and take some time to relax. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.